What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel, and today I have my overview of the D-Rocket Designs Jupiter. This is a very strange knife, for lack of a better word. Strange in the way it functions, strange in the way it's made, strange in almost everything about it, man. It's just a very strange knife. It's a knife I've tried to like, really tried to like it, but and trying to understand why. That's the thing. What's the purpose of it, right? What is this meant to be? Before we get into all that, let's go over the specs real quick and do a couple size. We're going to have to do the show side on this one because of that giant button. Do some size comparisons, specs, and then I'll talk a little bit about this because I talked to the guy that made this knife to try to get a better understanding about this knife. Alright, blade length's 3 inches, overall length is 6.875 inches. The weight is 3.03 ounces. The blade steel is VG10, carbon fiber scales, titanium hardware, and liners. And blade thickness is 121 thousandths. It's PVD coated. It is a, I don't know if you categorize it as a button lock or it's actually a liner lock, but it's a button lock, kind of like a schmuck, which is a compression lock, button lock, kind of. Just in the VG10 still. So got a lanyard plug back there. It is on ball bearings. No pocket clip to speak of. There is no pocket clip. Alright, let's do a couple size comparisons. Here is the tactile rock wall. Very similar in size to the rock wall. Here is the Kaiser Feist XL and the Kaiser Feist. So kind of right in between those two. Here's the new Kunwu Pulsar. Here's the Concept Convict. Here's the Ontario Rat Model 2, about the same size as the Rat Model 2, the Rat 2. Here is the Artisan Cutlery Ahab. Here's a pair of 3, and here is a QSP Penguin. So, not a very large knife. It is very kind of tip heavy-ish, very thick, chunky blade stock all the way out to the tip. Actually feels pretty balanced. I think a lot of that has to do with the backspacer. So you got titanium thumb stud, titanium backspacer, titanium liners. I can't confirm the button's titanium, but I'm 99% sure it is. Full length backspacer all the way down. This knife works like a liner lock with a button. So turn the flashlight on here, try not to blind you. So if you look inside here, see the button comes across. The button doesn't really do anything. There's a liner on this side locking the blade in place. It'll focus for me. And then when you press this button, this piece comes over, presses that liner over. The blade comes down, hits the button. Then you gotta let off the button, and then you can close the blade. So, why? I don't know. Because he could, I guess. I talked to the designer, because this is also a mid-tech, so I had some questions about that. His name is Dariel Canston, D-Rocket Designs on Instagram. And I asked him which parts are made in the USA. And he didn't say any parts were made in the USA. What he said to me exactly was, also there's a rattle on the close on this, and Jason told me about this, and he said what it is there's a pin in here doing that. If you put some Loctite in it, it won't do it. It's just a little rattle you hear in the close there. Said it's just something to do with a pin in there. I have not disassembled. It's not my knife. So this is Jason's knife, by the way. I will link Jason's Instagram, or his Instagram and his YouTube channel down below. Puerto Rican with a knife. But I asked Dario, what's made where, and what he said was The knife is a Frankenstein, meaning the blanks are made in China and hardware, but the blanks of the blade and the handle are finished in the US. So I'm thinking he's getting blank blades, and the hardware, and then I'm assuming, grinding these blades, anodizing the hardware, and the handle. So sounds to me like it's basically just being assembled in the United States. The parts are being purchased in China, and then he maybe doing a little customizations here or there, maybe even grinding the blade. I don't know. If he's grinding it, he's also coating it, which may be very possible. I don't know. But the price on this knife is $250, and it's considered a mid-tech. And I guess the mid-tech is, I thought a mid-tech was certain things were being, done by hand. And I guess a blank blade being grinded is being done by hand. Anodizing the hardware is being done by hand. But I had a different understanding of what a mid-tech is. And with VG10 steel and this pretty basic carbon fiber, I don't know, $250, I just don't quite get it, I just don't understand it. And then when you factor in the way the action works, this is a knife for a particular person, right? This is just somebody that's into strange things, I think. Jason seems like a pretty strange dude. I'm just kidding, Jason. I don't know. This one, I just don't understand this knife. I can't make heads or tails of it. I don't know why anyone would make it in the first place, much less why anybody would want it. There's no pocket clip, so I guess you just drop this thing in your pocket. I mean, you could put it in a slip, but you get this giant button here you got to deal with. Button will not release the blade, right? It does have a good detent in there holding it in, and it almost feels like it's on springs of some sort, right? And that's something else I don't quite get. Because watch, I feel like a springiness right here. Unless it's just a detent ramp in there. It could just be there's a detent ramp in there. And then, yeah, it's a detent ramp. So, detent ramp right there, and then it hits over here also. But it's an interesting knife. Nothing that I would personally ever purchase. It does have a fuller there. I can't get to it to flick it. It's just too tight to the scale. I can get to it, but I can't flick it. Yeah, very strange knife. $250. It's a hard pass for me. I can appreciate the work going into it. I guess I just don't understand the whole buying the blanks from China, putting together in the U.S. And then I'm curious, where did they say this knife? It's made in China. Yeah, say it's made in China. So I don't get the mid-tech part of it or the price for what you're getting with VG10 steel. I just don't understand $250. So hate to be negative about one, guys, but this one here is just I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to find the good in it, and I can't find any. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.